stiffer?
My stiffer and my sniffer with my sniffer.
You want to get wrecked?
Something dry and wrinkly. Which we don't like dry and wrinkly. Get wrecked like we're about to get with Wrecked Alley.
Slick mouthfeel.
Oily is obviously the opposite of dry and wrinkly. Which I like. Ah, dang, the fruit! It's not giving me a stiffer. Hi everyone.
I'm Janet.
I'm Jason.
We're
Gumbo Mud. We're here
for dark beer.
And today we have Wrecked Alley from Karl Strauss. I always want to say wrecked.
We always say wrecked.
Wrecked when I order it. Wrecked. I want Wrecked Alley.
And I actually used to call it shipwreck because Wreck Alley didn't come to me quickly, so I'd always I want the shipwreck.
Yeah. Give me the shipwreck.
It's not shipwreck. It's Wreck Alley.
It comes from shipwreck because it's a shipwreck alley, but just short, Wrecked Alley. So yeah, Karl Strauss, Wrecked Alley, been around for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah. So
this is an Imperial Stout coming in at a 9%.
9.0 ABV, 9%.
9% ABV.
Yeah, which we love. That 8 to 12%. So 9%'s perfect.
Good number.
Yeah.
So a little bit about the description of this beer: brewed with dark malts, cocoa nibs, Colombian coffee beans sourced from Bird Rock Coffee Roasters, which pretty much everything they're involved with is usually
all my favorite beers have Bird Rock Roasters in it. Yeah.
Yeah, they know what they're doing there.
Yeah.
And it boasts rich layers of dark chocolate, toffee, and espresso roast beans. So sounds
perfect.
Amazing.
Right.
Yes.
Everything we love.
Yeah.
No fruit.
Well, not in the description.
Not in the description, no fruit.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. This beer's won quite a few awards. Silver in 2014, California State Commercial Beer Competition.
Cool.
Again in 2012, and then 2013, Los Angeles International Commercial Beer Competition. So Karl Strauss has won so many awards. It's crazy, but this beer in particular, it's a staple in their rotation.
Yeah.
It's always there. They always have it available, which is great. And as you can see, 22-ounce bombers. If we haven't seen it in cans, I'd love if they'd put it in a 16-ounce can, 4 packs. Would be great.
I've only seen it in this 22-ounce bottle, or you get it on draft, throughout Southern California.
Right, and you can get growlers of it and stuff. So, yeah.
Definitely.
Exactly. So, about the brewery, Karl Strauss was actually the first craft brewery since Prohibition to start in San Diego, which is crazy. 1996.
Thank you, Carl.
Thank you, Carl. Yeah, they started it.
Yeah.
They started it in '86, and it made San Diego explode with people wanting to brew beer from Karl Strauss. And people that work for Karl Strauss opened Pizza Port and all these other breweries. So, yeah. But anyway, after Prohibition, they started. Chris Kramer and Matt Ratner, 2 college buddies, started the brewery. And after going backpacking, actually, in Australia, which here in San Diego, Southern California, Australia, surfing, a lot of people go to Australia. And I guess they were at a little craft brew pub and loved it so much they wanted to come back. Had the idea, obviously, and come back and do it. So
yeah, good to dream. I like it.
Exactly.
So Chris's cousin actually is Karl Strauss, and in 1989 they officially opened their doors in downtown San Diego.
Yeah.
And that was like the birth of the craft beer industry because they were the forerunners, and it just continued to grow from there. And since 2009, as Jason mentioned, Karl Strauss has won numerous medals, awards, like over 110 medals.
Yeah.
And at the 2016 Great American Beer Festival, they received
Denver
the Mid-Size Brewing Company and Mid-Size Brewer of the Year.
Yeah, that's the most prestigious craft brew.
I think that draws the most.
Yeah, and it's been around the longest time there in Denver, Colorado.
And the head brewers for Karl Strauss are Lyndon Walker and Sean Albrecht.
Yep. Yeah, and there's quite a few Karl Strauss locations all throughout Southern California, especially here in San Diego. They're spread out really nicely. So if you're downtown, or you're in Carlsbad, or you're around Rancho Bernardo, or they're just all over.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere, which is great.
Likely one near you if you just Google it, if you're in San Diego.
And they're always super nice. Like even the one in Miramar, it's like a garden and fountains and a pond. And,
beautifully decorated.
Beautiful.
And like laid back, It's not snobby and not too casual. It's
exactly.
Just, it's a nice, and they have great food also.
Yeah, really good food. So a little bit about Karl Strauss. He was born in 1912, actually in Germany, and he was actually born on his father's brewery. So it was obviously born into brewing, and that's where he learned and went to school there in Bavaria, which is the capital of brewing there in Germany. And then when World War II kind of started and everything was happening in Germany, he hitched a boat out of there and headed to the U.S. And when he got here, one of the best places to go was Milwaukee. That's where all the breweries were. That's where, everyone was at. So he actually started on the bottling line, even though in Germany he was a master brewer. When he came here, he started on the bottling line and worked his way up.
Oh, wow. Good for him. Yeah, because I'm sure he had a fairly big ego coming from...
You would think.
He grew, it sounds like...
And Germany's known for beer.
It sounds like his mother gave birth on the brewery floor. So he was actually born
into hops.
Into brewing.
And malts,
That's serious. And then, it's been his whole life. So to come here and take a step down, it says a lot about him,
Yeah.
So, as Jason mentioned, once he came to the United States, he began his career with Pabst Brewing Company. I'm sure everybody who's a beer drinker is familiar with that. He was on the bottling line in May of 1939.
Crazy.
And he was a workhorse, and it showed off. And by 1950, he was part of the team that reformulated the Pabst recipe. And they improved it, and it kind of launched again.
Yeah, Pabst Blue Ribbon, that main beer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Karl became the VP of production, overseeing brewery operations, and he held that position until 1983 when he retired. So it's 44 years with Pabst.
Right.
Love his dedication and...
Yeah, so he's been in beer his whole life.
Yeah, his whole life. So I think it's so cool too that Chris and Matt, that they could have easily, worked their own names into the name of the brewery, but they, rightfully so, they gave all the credit to Karl.
Right.
Yeah, so I love that.
Yeah, when they came back with the idea from Australia, obviously Chris is Karl's cousin, and so Karl was retired. And so they brought him to San Diego here, and Karl just brews beer. Even though he's retired, he wanted to brew beer. So he literally started Karl Strauss with Chris and Matt, and taught everyone there how to brew and everything, and actually lent his name till 2006 when he passed away. But 94 years old, what a great life.
For sure.
Beer his whole life. So secret of life, beer.
Yes. Yeah, you want to live a long life?
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah, it's great. So you ready?
I'm ready.
Give it a try.
Yeah.
Woo!
Love the story.
Yeah, it's a great story.
Yeah, it really is.
And really historic for San Diego, which is known in the world now as the #1 craft beer destination. And it started with Karl Strauss.
Yes.
So crazy. So
yes.
Yeah. So we have both had this at Karl Strauss on draft.
I've never had the bomber. So
right.
As we know, there's lots of variations versus draft versus can versus bottles.
Right.
Growler fills.
Exactly.
It's always different. So
yeah.
Anxious to try it as always.
Yeah, as far as appearance, I love the way it looks. Once again, the head looks almost like a chocolate chip cookie or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How does that chocolate chip batter look?
It does. It's cookie dough, chocolate chip cookie dough is always that pale.
Yeah.
And then, you have your chips and the dark part of it, but it does.
Yeah, lately we've been having the mocha heads for a lot of the coffee stouts we've been drinking, but this is more like a chocolate chip.
Yep.
The head dissipated quickly though.
It did.
Really fast.
Yeah.
Look at that. I'm just watching it dissipate. It's dissipating so fast, which is interesting.
Yeah. The carbonation looks, pretty mild too.
Yeah.
the carbonation kind of just borders the edges.
Yeah.
It's not really within the body of the beer.
Yeah, and the lacing dissipates really quick. Yeah. So for appearance, what do you think? Like, I like the color of it. It's really dark. Actually, I like the cookie dough head. It just, the lacing in the head disappeared quick.
Yeah.
Really quick.
I'm going to rate this a 4.5 on appearance. So near perfection. It looks, like I said, I do like carbonation in beers. It looks a tiny bit flat. But overall, a nice, rich, dark color and nice lacing. So
I love the color of it. I love the head. I just gave it a 4 because of the head dissipates so fast, and the lacing also doesn't cling to the glass very much.
Yes.
So I usually like that in my beer, which means it's more creamy and thicker.
Yes.
So, but the rest of it looks great. So what do you think about aroma?
All right.
When we opened it, I didn't smell anything, the espresso beans or any of that.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of dark fruit coming through.
Dang, the fruit!
I know. No. I know. I hate to say that. I usually go first, but my sniffer is different than your
yes,
sniffer.
It is.
So maybe you are not going to get that. But
what fruit are you getting?
Kind of like a fig or a raisin, a prune, like something. It's a dark fruit.
Something dry and wrinkly. Is what you're getting. Which we don't like dry and wrinkly. That's everything you just named. A fig, a prune, and a raisin.
Yeah. You're right. That's not good. You do get secondary. You get like some espresso roast.
Yeah.
And that's about it for me. Tell me what you think.
That's not very strong to my snifter. My sniffer. My sniffer and my stiffer.
Your stiffer?
My stiffer and my sniffer with my sniffer. Wow. That is say that 3 times. No, I'm not getting much. Just a tiny bit espresso, kind of bitter espresso. It's not giving me a stiffer.
Thank you for that. Wow.
A little bit of the fruit, but I think your nose is more sensitive to mine. I don't get much of the fruit, but I'm not getting much. Just a tiny bit of maybe espresso, bitter espresso, but that's it, not much. So what do you give it? I'm
going to go with 4 on aroma.
Okay.
Like I said,
You like the fruity, dried, wrinkly-ness to it?
I don't like dried or wrinkly, much of anything. But that's what came through initially. I would like more of the espresso and the dark chocolate notes, but I'm used to dark fruit and beer, so...
Yeah, they love to put it in there, huh? Yeah, I give it a 3. I think it's not bad. I'm just not getting much. I get a little bit of espresso, so anytime I don't get much on the aroma, I just give it right in the middle of the road 3.
Okay.
So go ahead and give it a try.
All right. So again, I always reference your glass because it's a different angle than mine.
Yeah.
The top of yours looks very oily.
Yeah, which
I don't know if you're seeing that on me.
Oily is obviously the opposite of dry and wrinkly, which I like. So I like it. Yeah, and the lacing is actually clinging to the glass a little more in mine. So
it's good.
Yeah.
It tastes different than it smells. The dark roast espresso comes through, but it is pretty light.
It's light for 9.
Which I would think is why it's not coming through in the aroma.
Do you remember what the draft tastes like? It's been a while since we've had it.
How
would it compare?
I remember the draft being more coffee flavored.
Yeah, it usually is, right? The draft's usually stronger on all the description flavors.
So this tastes slightly watered down, but it's a nice blend. And I don't taste dark fruit at all. It's just kind of a watered down dark roast or a lighter espresso.
It's clean. It's more malty. Like it has a little more body to it than I thought. Like you think it's lighter. Actually, it's not a 9.
No.
But I would say it's a 7, 7.5, maybe.
That's
almost an 8.
Think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not quite a 6. We've had some 6 before, some 5.5s. This has a little more body to it. I think maybe it's the carbonation that kind of gives it a little more body to it.
Yeah.
Right? It's very clean. I don't get any fruit either, which I like.
Yeah.
I wish I could get a little more of the espresso, a little more of the coffee, but It's really good. I really like it. I think the draft's a little better. Obviously, draft's usually always better because I every time I go into Karl Strauss and get Rec Alley, it's always good. I always like it. So
always good.
The bottle here, the Bomber, I think it's good. Like it's good, clean beer. It doesn't taste like a 9 though, like you said.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 4 on taste, mainly for that reason. It doesn't quite live up to a 9% ABV for me.
Yeah.
I could use a little more flavors coming through.
Yeah.
You know, I don't get the dark fruit on the flavor, but
Yeah.
it's really all I'm getting is a little creaminess and kind of a light, I keep saying watered down, maybe diluted.
Yeah.
Coffee. So
I'm getting a little bit of fruit at the end now. So I'm going to give it 3.5.
okay.
I like it. It's light, like you said. I don't know if it's watered down, but it's definitely
Like diluted, maybe, right?
Yeah, it's a little diluted. So, but it's really good.
Yes.
I wish there was a little more coffee in it. I love coffee and beer.
Yes.
So, but I like it. I just think the little fruit in the end, which I'm tired of people putting fruit in dark beer. They love to do it. So
It's gonna keep happening.
I know it's going to keep happening.
Brace
so
yourself.
yeah. So what about the body texture?
Texture, I'm going with 4 on texture. Again, it's going back to that lightness, 4 and 9. A 9 is a good number, you know. You expect a little more body,
Yeah.
a little more thickness, a little
Good
more
one.
richness.
Yeah.
But I really like it. It blends really well, and it's smooth. It's a nice,
Really smooth, yeah.
slick mouthfeel. A little bit dry on the end, but yeah, I'm going to give it a 4 again.
Give it a 4 on the body. I'm going to give it a 3.5 again because for a 9, I expect a little more. I want my 9s to be a little thicker than that. I've had 8s that are thicker than this, so I'd like to have a little more body and punch to it.
Yeah.
You know, it is on the lighter side. So if you like a higher percentage beer, but not as heavy body, a little lighter, I think you'd love this beer because it is on the lighter side. Like I said, it's like a 7.
Yeah.
So yeah, I give it 3.5. And what about the finish?
The finish, I will say, which I didn't make note of this in the other categories, I don't taste alcohol. So they did a nice job of masking the 9%, which again, once you get up, you know, 9, 10 or beyond, you likely get like heat from alcohol or a little alcohol at some point throughout. I'm not getting that. So it's very well masked that way.
Yeah.
I give this beer a 4 for the finish. I do enjoy it. I feel, as I mentioned, it's a little light for a 9%. It gives you a nice creamy light. It's light and crisp. It's pretty refreshing.
Yeah, it is
because
refreshing.
it is more towards the lighter end. So I would definitely recommend this to others. I would have another. I do prefer the draft a little more than I do this particular bottle. Again, they're all bottled at different times, and you know that plays into the taste of every beer. But I really enjoy it, so I'm giving it a 4.
Give it a 4. I'm actually going to give it a 4.5. I like the finish.
Yes, good.
It finishes clean. I like the carbonation. It dissipates really well. There's not a lot of the flavor to the finish, but it does finishes real clean where I want to just take another sip. It's very refreshing, like you said. It's a beer I've gone to Karl Strauss and I've had quite a few of them. They're 9%. They only give you 10 ounces, so that's one thing I do like about the Bomber. You can pour yourself more.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm with you. Every Karl Strauss I've been to, it's pretty consistent throughout all the ones. The brewing, that the draft is really good. It's more chocolatey. I think we both agree. Where this is just a little lighter, and I get a little fruitiness at the end, but I think it finishes really nice.
More coffee notes on the draft too.
Yes.
Like the coffee's really more pronounced than it is in the draft. So, or in the bottle rather. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you like things that are dry and wrinkly,
this is your
beer. No, this is a great beer. I really like this beer. Rec Alley's been around for so long, and it's always available. It's always there, and so it's actually one of my favorite beers.
It's a great beer.
Yeah, you forget about it sometimes because we have so many breweries here, and you drink all these other beers that you're around town and you just stop in a Karl Strauss and you're like, oh my God, like I forgot how good this beer was. So
always good. And most every time I've gone to Karl Strauss, I always order food because their food's incredible too. Yeah. And this beer seems to be complimentary to anything I order.
With all of it, yeah. Yeah, we've had brunch there, breakfast, we've had hamburgers and pizza and everything, and it goes well with everything.
Yeah, sometimes if beers are too, too much flavor in one department, then it's not always complimentary to what you're eating. Yeah. But because this is so light and refreshing, it really does go with everything I've had. So
what do you give for a total, Janet?
My total for Rec Alley is a 4.1 out of 5.0. I think it's an amazing just staple that Karl Strauss offers for their dark beer lineup. It's smooth, it goes down easy, goes great with all their food or by itself, and I really like it. This is what I get most every time I go there. Yeah. So I like it. I think you guys will too. Yeah. And how about you?
I give it a 3.7. I would probably give the draft closer to a 4 because I really like the draft when we go there. I really wish Karl Strauss would have 20 variations of this beer.
I know.
Because it's such a good beer. I think you could do a lot with it, and take a page out of L. Smith's or McKellar's book of just, this is your staple, and just brew all these different variations. Add more vanilla to one, add more coffee to one,
Yes.
Just do a lot of different things.
Run with it.
Run with it. So, but yeah, I really like this beer. I like the draft better when we have it. But for this bottle, I give it a 3.7. You give it a 4.1. Gumbo Mud Reviews a 3.9. For this bomber, I think both of us, for the draft, if we were actually in Karl Strauss having the draft doing this review, it would be 4s or above.
I agree.
Yeah, because we really like it.
Yeah, the draft it's a different story.
Different story, yeah. So, but 3.9, I think you really like this beer. It's easy to get this beer. It's at a lot of grocery stores, and their distribution is really good around the country. So, yeah.
I see it more so in grocery stores than I do liquor stores.
Yeah, the liquor stores kind of hide them sometimes, though. A lot of times they're not in the coolers. They'll have them on the shelves where they keep a lot of the bombers. But, you see it in grocery stores a lot. So, yeah. So, anyway, 3.9 Gumbo Mud Review.
Yes.
Go get this beer, grab this beer. It's a great beer. And anytime you're around, you see a Karl Strauss, go in and have this beer.
For sure. Grab some food, grab a good beer. You want to get wrecked.
2 or 3, get wrecked.
You want to get wrecked?
Get wrecked like we're about to get with Rec Alley. Yeah, go ahead.
No, thank you so much for watching.
Yeah, thank you guys. Click the like button if you like. Hit subscribe for more dark beer reviews. That's all we do is dark beer. And we'll get all the dark beer reviews you could possibly want right here. So
Check back.
See you guys.
Thank you for watching. Bye.